Most parents spend between $100 and $400 on a baby monitor. Almost none of them know what they actually paid for. The baby monitor industry is built on one emotion: fear. Fear that if you don't buy the most expensive option, you're a bad parent. Fear that the $35 monitor won't be good enough. Fear that your baby needs AI, breathing sensors, and a subscription app to be safe. Here's what no brand wants you to know: most of what you're paying for has nothing to do with your baby's safety. It has everything to do with their marketing budget. Today, we're exposing 10 baby monitors, ranked from overpriced to flat out obscene. And by the end, you'll know exactly where to spend your money and where you're just paying for anxiety in a box. Number 10, Infant Optics DX R8PRO, approximately $165. We start at number 10 with a monitor that used to be the gold standard and quietly became overpriced the moment everyone stopped questioning it. The Infant Optics DXR8 Pro has no Wi-Fi. That's its entire selling point, and it's a real one. We'll come back to that. But here's what $165 actually buys you: a 720p camera, a 5-inch display with mediocre night vision, and an interchangeable lens system that sounds impressive. Until you realize almost nobody uses the extra lenses. The original DXR8 earned its reputation in 2012 when it was genuinely the best non-Wi-Fi monitor available. The Pro updated the screen size and added some range improvements. The core technology is still over a decade old. For $165 in 2025, you can get sharper image quality, better night vision, and longer battery life from competitors at the same price. The Infant Optics is not a bad monitor. It is a legacy product priced like it's still dominant because enough parents still trust the name to keep buying it. The real number: estimated manufacturing cost for a unit like this: camera sensor, RF module, display housing, lands around $22 to $28. You're paying roughly 6 times that for a 720p camera. Number 9, VTech VM5463, approximately $80. The VTech sits at number 9, not because it's terrible, but because it represents a specific trap: the mid-range promise. At $80, it's positioned to feel like a smart compromise: not cheap, not extravagant, responsible. The problem is that VTech's $80 monitor delivers roughly the same real-world performance as monitors half the price: 720p resolution, basic night vision, two-way audio, and a pan-tilt camera that parents love in theory and stop using within 2 weeks. The build cost on a unit like this is approximately $14 to $18. VTech's entire strategy in baby electronics is volume. The same approach that built their cordless phone empire. Low manufacturing costs, moderate retail price, massive shelf presence, and a brand name that parents recognize from their own childhood. You're not buying a better monitor at $80. You're buying the feeling of having made a careful decision. Number 8, Hello Baby HB655. Oh, approximately $60. The Hello Baby appears on every best budget monitor roundup on the internet. And those roundups are right. It is a good budget monitor. It does not belong at $60. This is a straightforward $12 to $15 hardware build. A basic CMOS camera sensor, a small LCD display, simple RF transmission, and a plastic housing manufactured in Shenzhen, alongside a dozen nearly identical units sold under different brand names. Search OEM baby monitor manufacturer, and you'll find the factory that makes the Hello Baby, the Baby Sense, the Heim Vision, and several others. You are all running off the same base design with minor feature differences and significantly different price tags. At $40, this is a reasonable product. At $60, it's trading on review site placement that was purchased, not earned. Know what you're actually holding? Number 7, Motorola VM75, approximately $90. Motorola is the Reebok of baby monitors, a legacy brand that used to mean something, now licensing its name to products that would embarrass the engineers who built the original Motorola two-way radios. The VM75 costs approximately $16 to manufacture. It retails for $90. The resolution is 720p. The night vision is functional, but not sharp. The two-way audio has a noticeable delay that makes it feel clunky in the moment when you actually need to use it, which is always at 3 a.m. when the baby is crying. Here's the specific problem with Motorola's baby monitor line. They haven't meaningfully innovated in years. The brand name creates a perception of engineering quality that the actual product doesn't deliver. Parents who remember Motorola as a tech leader are buying a monitor made by a licensing company called Binatone that acquired the Motorola home brand. The engineering legacy and the current product are not the same thing. Number 6, EUFY SpaceView Pro, approximately $120. Now we're getting into territory where the marketing gets significantly more sophisticated. The Eufy SpaceView Pro costs around $20 to $25 to manufacture and retails for $120. On paper, it's one of the better spec'd non-Wi-Fi monitors available. 1080p camera, a large 5-inch display, solid night vision, and a claimed 1,000-foot range that holds up reasonably well in real-world conditions. The problem isn't the hardware. It's what Eufy doesn't tell you. Eufy is an Anker brand. Anker is also the parent company of Eufy's security camera line. The same security camera line that in 2022 was caught transmitting footage to the cloud despite advertising itself as a local-only, no-cloud system. The cameras were discoverable via media player apps by anyone with the right URL. Does that mean the SpaceView Pro has the same vulnerability? Not necessarily. It's a dedicated RF-based baby monitor, not a Wi-Fi camera. But when a company has demonstrated willingness to mislead customers about data privacy in one product line, that should give you pause before pointing their hardware at your sleeping infant. At $120, you deserve both the hardware and the trust. Eufy has not fully earned the trust back. If this is the kind of breakdown you've been looking for before spending real money on baby gear, subscribe. We do this for every major product category. No sponsored opinions, no affiliate pressure, just the information the industry doesn't want you to have. Number 5, Hello Baby Wireless, approximately $130 with breathing sensor. At number 5, we enter the breathing sensor category. And this is where the fear marketing reaches its peak. Several brands now sell monitors with an under-mattress breathing sensor that alerts you if movement stops. The concept is powerful. The execution is a mixed bag, and the implications are frequently misrepresented. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend movement monitors or breathing sensors as a tool for preventing SIDS. The research does not support the claim that these devices reduce infant death rates. That is not a fringe opinion. It is the stated position of the organization that sets pediatric medical standards in the United States. What breathing sensors are genuinely good for? Peace of mind. Parental anxiety is real, it's serious, and if a sensor helps you sleep, that's a legitimate benefit. But you are paying for peace of mind, not medical protection. The brands that blur that line, and many of them do, are doing parents a serious disservice. The hardware cost on a basic movement pad plus monitor, approximately $18 to $22. It retails for $130. The markup is substantial. The clinical benefit is not established. Price it accordingly. Number 4, Nanit Pro, approximately $300 plus subscription. The Nanit is the monitor that convinced an entire generation of millennial parents that artificial intelligence belongs in the nursery. Let's talk about what you actually get. The Nanit Pro is a 1080p overhead camera with night vision, two-way audio, and a companion app that tracks your baby's sleep using computer vision. It sells for $300. Then it asks for a $100 per year subscription to access most of the features you bought it for. The hardware manufacturing cost for a unit like this, quality 1080p sensor, Wi-Fi module, IR night vision, premium housing, is approximately $35 to $45. You're paying roughly 7 to 8 times that, plus an ongoing subscription for an app that tells you things you can largely observe yourself. How long the baby slept, how many times they woke up, whether they're awake right now. The sleep data is genuinely interesting, but it is consumer-grade data, not medical data. The Nanit sleep tracking has not been validated against clinical sleep studies. What you're getting is a well-designed product with sophisticated software that presents parental worry in a clean, modern interface. If this subscription disappears, about if Nanit shuts down their servers, gets acquired, or changes their pricing model, you own a $300 Wi-Fi camera with limited standalone functionality. That is the real risk of connected baby tech, and it's one Nanit's marketing never surfaces. Number 3, Owlet Dream Sock, $299. The Owlet is the most emotionally complex product on this list. It is a wearable sock that monitors your infant's heart rate and oxygen levels using pulse oximetry, the same technology used in hospital monitors. It sends real-time alerts to your phone if readings drop outside a preset range. The technology is real. The device is well built. The manufacturing cost is approximately $40 to $50 for the sensor, sock, and base station hardware. Here's the complicated truth. The original Owlet Smart Sock was pulled from the market in 2021 after the FDA sent a warning letter stating it was being marketed as a medical device without proper clearance. Owlet reformulated it as a wellness device and relaunched as the Dream Sock. Same core technology, different legal framing. For healthy infants, the AAP's guidance is clear. Standard safe sleep practices, firm, flat surface, nothing in the crib back to sleep are what the evidence supports. Back to sleep are what the evidence supports. The Owlet is not a medical replacement for those practices. For parents of premature infants, babies with known cardiac or respiratory conditions, or families with a history of SIDS, the conversation is different. And that conversation should happen with a pediatrician, not a product description. At $299, the Owlet charges a significant premium for a device whose medical status is legally unresolved and whose clinical benefit for healthy full-term infants is not established. The peace of mind is real. The medical protection framing is not. Number 2, Snoo Smart Bassinet. $1,695. The Snoo is technically a bassinet, not a monitor, but it belongs on this list because it represents the apex of the smart baby tech category. And it is the clearest example of what happens when sophisticated technology meets maximum parental vulnerability. Dr. Harvey Karp, the pediatrician behind the 5S's soothing method, created the SNOO. The concept is legitimate. A bassinet that automatically responds to infant crying by increasing white noise and gentle rocking. It works. Studies have shown it can extend infant sleep by 1 to 2 hours per night for some babies. The hardware, a motorized bassinet frame, microphone, speaker, and Bluetooth module, costs approximately $200 to $300 to manufacture. It retails for $1,695. The markup is roughly 6 to 8 times cost. The company offers a rental option for $149 per month, which is the more financially rational choice given that the SNOO is only FDA cleared for use until the baby can push up on their hands and knees, typically around 5 to 6 months. You are buying or renting a product with a 5-month use window. The SNOO does what it says. The question is whether extended infant sleep is worth $1,695 or $600 in rental fees for a 5-month window when a $90 Fisher-Price rocker and a free white noise app solve 70% of the same problem for most babies. If you can rent it and you have a colicky newborn, it may be worth every dollar. If you're buying it, do the math first. Number 1, the subscription trap, all Wi-Fi monitors. First place doesn't go to a single product, it goes to a business model. The real number 1 on the overpriced to obscene list is the connected baby monitor subscription ecosystem that and almost every major brand is running this playbook now. Here's how it works. The brand sells you a $250 to $350 Wi-Fi monitor at what feels like a premium but acceptable price. Then they lock the most useful features: cloud storage, multi-device viewing, sleep analytics, two-way communication history. What is behind a subscription that runs $5 to $15 per month? Over 2 years, roughly the useful lifespan of a baby monitor, you spend $120 to $360 in subscriptions on top of the hardware. The total cost of ownership of a Nanite or a Motorola smart monitor frequently exceeds $500 to $600 when you include the subscription. And here's the part that nobody talks about. You own none of it. You own a camera, you rent the functionality. When the company's servers go down, and they do, your monitor stops working. When the company discontinues the product, and they do, your monitor becomes an expensive paperweight. When they raise subscription prices, and they will, you either pay or lose features you built your routine around. The baby monitor industry discovered sometime around 2018 that the real money isn't in selling hardware. It's in selling a subscription to parents who are too exhausted and too anxious to push back. The answer isn't to refuse all connected monitors. Some of them are genuinely excellent. The answer is to understand what you're actually buying before you hand over your credit card. verdict and recommendations. So what should you actually buy? If you want non-Wi-Fi and no data concerns, the Hello Baby HB6550 under $50 does what a basic monitor needs to do. Don't pay $165 for legacy brand recognition. If you want a connected monitor without subscription, the Eufy SpaceView Pro at $120 is the best full-featured non-subscription option. Just go in with clear eyes on the company's data history. Alternatively, an older Infant Optics DXR8 Original, not the Pro, can be found for $80 to $100 used and is a reliable, private, no-nonsense option. If you want connected and smart, the Nanite is a genuinely good product. Budget for the subscription. Accept that you're paying for premium software, not premium hardware, and make peace with that. If you have a medically complex infant, talk to your pediatrician before any monitor purchase. No product recommendation from a YouTube video should replace that conversation. The one universal rule: you do not need a monitor with AI, breathing sensors, sleep coaching, or a monthly fee to be a good parent. You need a monitor that lets you hear and see your baby clearly when you're not in the room. Everything else is optional. The baby monitor industry survives because fear is more profitable than clarity. Now you have the clarity. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this. We cover every major baby product category with the same approach. Actual numbers, actual research, no brand deals. And drop a comment telling me which monitor you bought and whether you regret it. It's the most useful data I can get for the next video. See you there.